more AFK Arena. Today we're back on the pay to win account, continuing progression through here. Going through and also doing the Arcane Labyrinth. A few things we got to clean up, as well as trying to get the new artifact. I still have not got the new artifact for the casters. What's going on? Thank you for joining me for the live stream today. So we're going to outfit a team, and I'm thinking with Saurus, we've been running a lot of the Mauler Tower. As many of you guys know, the Mauler Tower is very, very difficult to deal with. It is far behind all of the other towers. Even looking here, the Mauler Tower is at 261, Lightbearer 271, the World Tree and the Graveborn Tower 316 and 295. Let me know if the sound is a little bit low. I can turn it up a little bit. I have my mic actually up on a boom, trying to get it off the desk, trying to get rid of some of the sound issues, some of the clicks, some of the pops, some of the problems that we're having. What's going on, Blaine? And you're it and solved. Yeah, let me know if it's just a little low, because even looking in the processor itself, it looks like it's almost just about peaking. What's going on, Relentless? All right, so here again, we're going to go with a combination of Saurus. So we're actually going to put him in here, as well as Taylene, and I'm hoping to make it a very, very smooth run through to pick up the new artifact. We haven't picked it up yet. I just thought about it actually earlier today, but we haven't had an opportunity to pick it up. Free Hippo, is Leica plus 30 good? Yes, Leica plus 30 is very, very good, because as you get further in the campaign, her plus 30 will actually allow you to do essentially more damage. It is what we see because of if heroes are kind of closer to maxing out her attack. Let me see if I can turn it up just a little bit. I'm not sure how much more I have on the volume. All right, so we turned up the mic a little bit. Let me know if that's a little bit loud. Like I said, I want to make sure it doesn't kind of peak the audio player here. Yeah, Leica plus 30 is very, very overpowered. When you add that into having her furniture, very, very powerful. Yes, the 9 of 9 furniture. So essentially with Leica in the 9 of 9 furniture, she will give you the opportunity to hit more than one hero. So normal attacks, every normal attack targets the nearest 2 enemies. So essentially doubling the damage she's going to do with her furniture, which makes her very, very powerful. Coupled with, again, the signature item, not only the increase in stats, but as you know right here, the accuracy over the dodge. So the more accuracy that you stack on her, the stronger she's going to be. So if you can add another 30 points of accuracy there, which I believe it does add life leech as well at 25. Yeah, Leica is very, very powerful. Not only that, is she buffs the energy, she debuffs the defense, and she starts with haste. What's going on, Anthony? So it's a very, very strong combination that she is a part of. That is very, very good. So here we're going to go with Saurus. I think I'm going to go with Rowan, the twins, and Taylene. So that gives us 4. The 5th, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll try an Isolde here. I ran this when it first came out. What artifact is good? The eye. Yep, the eye on her. Because essentially, the more that you put on her with the eye, this one is really tough. Using the eye on her is very, very strong, because you want the attack rate, you want the attacks. The faster you get the attacks, especially if you have her furniture, the faster the attack, the more damage essentially she's going to be doing in a short amount of time. I pushed to 32-1, loving the new. Yes, absolutely. The multi-stage battle formations, I feel, are very, very cool to see. Makes it a lot easier. Makes it way, way easier to do the battle stage formations, doing essentially one at a time. So if you are defeated, you can do the stage again, which makes it, again, a lot easier to deal with. All right, so let's go with team here, and then we've dropped in, I think, Isolde. Got to make sure we don't die that early here because that's kind of what kills the team. There we go. So as long as we're completing with full hit points, especially, we should take auto off. What's going on, Stargazer? Still haven't heard anything about them possibly increasing. Yeah, if you guys seen some of the things they were talking about increasing the labyrinth coins. And that was directly from Lilith. If you guys seen the Reddit post about increasing Silas, I do not have yet. Oh, I have the borrowed Silas. We can use the borrowed Silas. There was a post actually from Lilith themselves about using or increasing the guild or the lab tokens, the lab tokens. There was no date on when they're going to increase them, which I would absolutely love if they increase them prior to having to pick up Albedo, just for the simple fact that we need the room. All of my faction accounts are completely full. The bags are completely full. Everything is completely full on the faction accounts because I do not have any more room. I am totally out of room, and I have to continue purchasing things just to refill essentially out of my bag because I only have 7 days. In 7 days, it's going to go ahead and retire, or it's going to go ahead and expire. So I don't have anything to really spend them on to try to save to make it work. They need to change something. My Saurus is 28 and I'll make him 30 after this event. Yes, absolutely. Saurus has to be the plus 30. Remember, the plus 30 signature item is what gives him the ability to essentially heal the team. Up until plus 30, the heal is for himself. At his plus 30 signature item, it allows them to heal the team, which is a very, very big change to how powerful he is. And here I want to make sure that Thorn doesn't kill us. I was trying to save them. Should I get Astrilda or Screg ascended? With them being, they're very, very similar. Out of those two, honestly, I would go with Screg. Just because Screg has not only the knockback, Screg has the damage mitigation similar to Arthur. Arthur is very, very strong. So when Screg faces a hero face to face, very, very hard to kill Arthur face to face, similar to Screg. Any news on the Taline frame or skin? Unfortunately, Andrew, I figured someone would bring it up. Yeah, they're saying February now. So that makes me wonder if that Champions of Espria, the chest we have is literally just going to sit there till February, or if they're planning something else. But they are now saying February for the Taline skin. Originally, they were talking about Christmas, but now I guess Christmas is off the table. So now it just might be a little bit longer. We might have to wait till February, essentially. Even here, let's take it off auto. Thorin is just taking a crazy amount of damage. If we can alt there, take it off auto. Yeah, hopefully we can just kill Thorin here with regular attacks. There we go. We got him. What's going on, Yorit? If you could trade them anytime. Yeah, so Sword, the big thing that people have said is with them trading for any time, the reason Lilith doesn't do the you can trade them at any time is because they want people to purchase them. That's essentially the whole entire reason. They want players to purchase both of the heroes because they generate revenue from it. So if they let you essentially just buy them whenever you want, you could stockpile essentially resources till something came out or till you wanted to purchase something, which is essentially what I guess Lilith is trying to get away from. Yeah, Thorin is always tough. Thorin you always have to watch, even here and the Labyrinth itself. And this battle is a nightmare with Flora and especially with the shield here. Let's have him go for Brutus. Hoping we get some stun, some early crowd control. This is the one that canceling ults, very, very tough. We need Taline to ult, heal everybody up. Rowan, keep everyone stunned. We should be able to get this one. Again, this is another one you really have to buy time so you can get Flora down. I think we got her there. We got her. They got my, yeah. Yeah, Will, and that's what a lot of people did, especially when, heroes usually run essentially $50. I mean, $50 is pretty much what the heroes run. To be able to get a hero for $15, I think there's been an absolute crazy amount of people that bought them. We can't see your face. Yeah, I know. The windows back here are very, very bright. I didn't want to reconfigure everything to kind of the side camera. I know it's a little bit bright. If I stream during the day, this is kind of what we get. I blocked the windows before, but still kind of get the same thing through the windows. I borrowed a couple heroes here for mercenaries. So with the team, we'll run through, let's run through the lab. We'll clear out the lab really quick. So we got the artifact. The artifact overall for casters is by far the best. So they did a lot of testing, did a lot of research, did a lot of kind of everything. And with the heroes starting with a significant amount of energy points plus the attack power that this relic brings, this relic is priority for casters. So it seems like that everybody, all of the specific, the class specific relics or artifacts are going to replace all of the older relics, which unfortunately we hope that wouldn't be. You can set up a yeah, I got to do some. What's going on, Javid? Yeah, I got to do something. Like I said, during the day, I'd even turn down the sensitivity in here to try to get something. I'm hoping to put my desk actually on this side so I don't face the windows directly, but definitely got to figure out something. Ever since they introduced dimensionals, I stopped spending hero coins for the purple stones. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people do, and you really shouldn't need to do that. So essentially, you're limiting the resources that you can use in here or even the barracks because of. I run Windbinder on Eins. Yes, it is absolutely Windbinder on Eins, just for the simple fact. Remember, when Eins ults, most of the time that is the win. Most of the time when he ults, you're going to kill heroes. You're going to kill opposing heroes, especially because of the crit amplification. So not only is he hitting a lot harder with the 10% attack bonus, his crit amplification is much, much higher, and he gets 300 energy points at the start, meaning that you just want him to ult. The quicker that you can get him to ult, the better. Yeah, it's weird how it picks it up, Javid. Like I said, I tried with a bunch of different things. I can switch it with monitors. What's going on, Grant? And it picks up too much natural light, is what I see, where it kind of focuses on the natural light in the background and not so much on anything in the foreground. I even try to light up here. Even the camera itself has a light, which is kind of hard to see, but it has a light as well. So let's go ahead. We do have 11,000 diamonds, and we want to look for Orthos. As you can see from running through a lot of the faction towers, there we got 54. So we have 5 full pulls for Orthos. I'm really hoping that we can get a couple copies. I think we have probably a couple regular summons as well. And then, of course, we still do have a little over 2 weeks to pick up copies of Silas. When this resets, I want to have enough diamonds to get 5 copies of Silas, so we can actually build him all the way up. So let's go ahead. We'll do our Stargazer pulls first. I use the Windbinder for Sophia. Yeah, Pixel, any of your casters are going to be the Windbinder. It essentially just replaced everything that easy. All right, so our first pull here, we get chests of gold, but that's okay. Still do need quite a bit of resources. No artifact resources either at this point. So pull number 2, which I'm hoping a lot of EXP, a couple rare cards there. We are having horrible luck with Orthos. There's a copy of him though, and a Graveborn, very nice. All right, so a copy of Orthos. Remember, we only have him at Elite Plus, so we need a lot of copies of Orthos. Second pull, we got 3 cards there. And the final one, so we might only pull one copy of Orthos. That's it, was one. So in total, we did 7 pulls, just like normal. We got 1 copy of Orthos out of those 7 pulls. So again, not the best rates there, but that is the normal Stargazer rates. 6 to 7 pulls are usually average for the Stargazer. From what we see, that's about the average of pulls. So here we'll see if we can get a couple more elites, which we got a couple rares there. A couple rares, so this will be our elite pull. Hoping we get a double or maybe more than one. Double, look at that. Let's see if we get a Silas. We get a Drez and a Titus. Double agility Mauler. Very, very cool. 2 heroes that I definitely use for the Mauler Tower. Like I said a little bit earlier, Mauler Tower is really, really slacking behind all of the other towers, which it always does, unfortunately. 30, 50, 50 and 30 more. There, let's see. We can probably actually add stars to both of them. Look at that. Then we need a lot of food. So Drez will add a star to, Titus will add a star to. So for the food, I'm thinking Silas. What's going on, William? Yeah, if you look outside. Sorry about that. Michigan got a lot of snow today. It is still snowing like absolute crazy out there. Not sure what's going on, but it got a lot colder. It was like 60 yesterday. And then all of a sudden this morning it's cold. So here we need food. So remember, we're going to build Silas from the new event. We have been focusing on purchases. So here we already have 470 of our pendants. So remember, we're not buying Taylene. We're going to buy food. We are going to buy fodder out of here just for the fact that we have a crazy, crazy high amount of heroes that we need to build. So to actually continue progression on this and essentially get a lot more ascended heroes, as much as I would love to buy and build the red chest, we are going to go with fodder cards out of here. So 18 rare there, and we're going to go across all the factions, and this is what we're going to buy with the pieces we get. This one will only have 1, but look at the amount of rare cards that is. We got a Graveborn, which is a copy of Nara. Nara is almost done, but 21 Graveborn cards, 21 Maulers. I'm sure in a second it's going to say that we're completely full. There we go. There's the mailbox. All right, so let's go ahead and make some of these heroes. That takes Nara to 4 stars. Where are you? Michigan. Yep, I am from Michigan. So a couple more, so a little bit of food there. Again, we are going to spend all of our resources for food, for fodder at this point, just because we have so many heroes that we need food for. So that gave us a couple more. So let's see, Graveborn, remember, we are going to save Graveborn food right now, even though we are completely overrun with Kelthar. 1 more Elite plus Kelthar, and we can actually make him with fodder all the way up to Ascended. Doing well, Adele. What's going on? Go all in our Graveborn, need 480 for 1 legendary. Yeah, we're going to go across the board because even here, so we have a little bit of food here. We're going to save this for Silas because remember, once we get 2 copies of Silas, we're going to need 2 food to take him to Legendary Plus, and then we're going to need a lot to take him to Mythic, trying to get him up to Ascended, which we can easily do. Just going to take some food. So Graveborn food we will buy. Here we have Namora across the board. Quite a few Almas, but that gave us 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So I believe we are building Lorzen at this point. So in here, we can still build Lorzen. So we can actually use some of these to continue to build Lorzen. And this will unlock his signature item. Why is Grez bad for PvE? He is so tanky in the Battle of Blood. The big thing with Grez is in PvE. Grez doesn't have the ability to scale. Grez dies very, very easy when it comes to PvP. When it goes into when it comes to the event, he dies very, very quick. Grez in PvP, because essentially in PvP, all of your heroes are the same level. They're equal on both sides. When you get to PvE, when you're actually playing in the campaign, Grez gets so outscaled by the enemy team, he gets absolutely destroyed. In the campaign, he cannot scale. If he takes damage, he dies. If he gets minions up, he can live. If you can get him alive for probably the first, I would say 25, 30 seconds, you can actually get him to live and actually get him to live through quite a bit. But most of the time, he will die before he scales, which kind of stinks because, of course, a dead hero doesn't do much of anything. We can hear 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4. So this is going to be for Nimisu. As you guys know, Nimisu is one of my favorite heroes. So we'll go Legendary. We'll go Legendary Plus. And this is going to help tremendously when it comes to this Mauler Tower that we find so difficult. And this is why I bought food. This is essentially the exact reason why we went through and we bought the fodder heroes. And like I said, we're going to continue this entire event. So that takes Nimisu all the way up to 2 stars. I have a God comp with plus 30 signature item. I don't know which celestial hypogen to Stargaze. If you already have the God tier comp, Flora is really good. She's pretty easy to build. Mizoth is good. Zorath is good. Out of the best, out of all of them, I would probably go with Orthos. Orthos is very, very powerful. In PvP, he's very strong. In PvE, he's very strong. A lot of events, Orthos is very, very strong when you have him built. Lucreta is good as well. But honestly, I would probably go Orthos. From what I've seen, Lilith has said that Lucreta is not as strong as they wanted her to be. So I think they're going to do an adjustment, probably in patch 1.52 or 1.53, that they are going to adjust Lucreta's skills just for the fact that she is not as strong as they want her to be, which is what Lilith had said. Lilith said, not as strong. So this one, I'm going to build Belinda here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Lightbearer heroes already. We already have 7 there with the maxed Gwen. The reason for Belinda is Belinda does very, very well in the tower. So when it actually comes to the Lightbearer tower, the Belinda Rose combo is very, very strong when you get her built. Essentially, once you get Belinda built, which this will unlock her signature item. But she is strong. The nuking ability, especially if you have furniture. Lucreta is good. The thing with Lucreta, again, is she has to scale a little bit. The big thing with Lucreta is she's not doing as much damage. She's not doing as well as they want her to do. So I think they're going to actually rework her relatively soon. I think we're going to see, yeah, she's not bad, but that's what they said. I think that's exactly what they said. Thank you, Sword. She's underwhelming at best. That they thought she would perform a little better. They didn't want to make her too strong, so they actually scaled her back a little bit, which I think they're going to change. So Belinda is there. Again, just need food, which we're going to get out of the event. We got Nimisu all the way up to 2 stars, which we need 1 more copy for 3 stars, so very good there. And here we got a little bit more food, and we can actually get Lorzen all the way up to Ascended as well. And then here we are just saving all of this for Silas when we get Silas. Yes, it does that pixel that they are going to buff Lucreta. Sometimes they go ahead and they switch around a couple of their skills or just tweak the skills very, very slightly to continue to kind of tweak their abilities. Mizoth, Orsos, Taline, Floris, Greg. Yeah, that's a tough team. Mizoth, especially because of the crowd control. Orthos, especially if you have furniture built for him, is very, very strong. And that's what a lot of people say, Michael, is cheesing with Lucreta. It seemed like it was good when it started, but then it doesn't seem to work very well. So here on the wish list, still looking to build the same heroes, building up more cards, trying to finish out Rowan. We do have Silas in there as well. Albedo and Ainz both in there. Looking for a couple more cards. We got 2 more summons here. Hope they rescale Albedo as well. Yeah, Albedo, they're having problems with Albedo's ultimate ability, which a lot of people, I think they're going to rework Albedo. So essentially with Albedo's ultimate ability, it can be dodged. So that's kind of the broken piece right now with Albedo, is Albedo's ultimate ability can be dodged. And a majority of the time they're finding Albedo's ultimate ability is dodged. So looking at Albedo herself with her ultimate, right here when she teleports to the densely populated, does the 300% AoE. 45 of the total damage converted is converted into a shield, which has an 8-second duration. If it is dodged, so if she actually attacks and this is dodged, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't give her the shield. And that's it too. She's not stunning either. So she's definitely broken. I think when they rework her a little bit, and also if you don't have her 3-piece furniture, which gives her the 10-second defense or the 10-second immunity, she's absolutely worthless. Unfortunately, she's a hero that nobody is using because it is not worth it at all to use her, because it is broken. Technically, it is broken. It's not working the way they intended. Cecilia or Estrilda. NPGC, that depends on the who you have built. Because if you have Hendrik, I probably wouldn't do Estrilda. If you have Scrag, I probably would do Cecilia first, just because they have similar abilities and they have the ability to knock back. It is kind of the one that I would think. Yukio is pretty good. I recycle all of these furnitures. So I've been keeping all these. I know we have a lot in here now. We could probably recycle a lot of these because they're not being used to get a couple more summons out of there, but I'll look at it later and see exactly where we're at. The Elder Tree, we got another level there. All right, so we'll do a quick run. I haven't done the Labyrinth yet. We'll do the Labyrinth and then Campaign. Campaign, we can finish it out because it's a lot to run through the campaign. There's a lot of switching. Not sure you have damage dealer, so you have a good tank, stay alive. Yeah, if you have Scrag. What's going on over skills? Yeah, if you have Scrag, Scrag is very similar to Estrilda, and that's why a lot of people kind of go back and forth on who to build, because they are very similar. Scrag has the same kind of knockback that Estrilda does, that Hendrik does. Very, very similar when it comes to both of those. I run Arthur, Taylene, Ainz, Rowan, and Albedo. It's a good combination, Andrew, because Albedo is giving strength to Ainz and giving strength to Arthur, giving if you have the plus 30 signature item. If not, they do give a lot of defense as well, which makes a big difference. I'll buy an offer. You want to buy an offer? Not sure if it says I'll buy an offer or I'll buy. Yep, Chaos is so underrated by himself. He can solo chapter 28 bosses. See, K-Sauce is one that is kind of I don't know, because I have K-Sauce built. I have K-Sauce with the signature items. K-Sauce, since he had the rework, he's definitely better. The thing that I always find with K-Sauce is his survivability. So K-Sauce, for being a strength-based hero, dies super, super quick. Even having maxed out furniture, I feel like his survivability still needs to be addressed when it comes to overall, because he still dies. Most of the time, I can't get K-Sauce to live probably 8 seconds into battle, and he's dead. That's why so many people don't run him, is the survivability aspect that I find with him. And there's a lot of other heroes. So even just looking at the lineup, I know we have, I think, 60 plus heroes in AFK Arena right now. When you look at K-Sauce himself, there's a lot of heroes that will perform a lot better than he will in doing the exact same role, in doing a damage role and doing a tanking role, depending where you use him. There's a lot of heroes that will perform that offer, similar damage with a lot more crowd control. The one big thing with K-Sauce is the life leech ability really needs some help. So here he is, even fully maxed out in the back. Right there, Leica just dodged, so he didn't really do much in the back. But the life leech ability, in my opinion, needs to be addressed. The life leech overall needs to be tweaked a little bit, maybe increased a little bit, because if that's one of the biggest benefits that K-Sauce is bringing to the table is the increase in life leech, it doesn't really seem to do very much. Should I build Iran or Tassie first? I would go Iran. Iran is the first hero that we built in here. If you're running Iran in your main specific comp, if you're not, go ahead and you do Tassie, because Tassie will allow you the crowd control aspect, the banish, and the slumber. But if you run Iran, if you're using him just like I do here, 110% Iran, not only for the damage that he puts out, as you can see here, but the crowd control ability is really the other big piece when you're running Iran. Lilith should do an update on the Labyrinth. There is tiers, helpful in early game, but practically useless late game. They've talked about that. So if you guys haven't seen Seaweed, they're redoing the Labyrinth. I know there's something, I guess, that Dolly is saying in the shop about reworking the Labyrinth, that there's been rumors of changes. When they did, I believe it was a press release with Lilith about some of the changes that are coming. The Labyrinth itself is getting 100% reworked, according to the screenshots and according to all of the stuff that was out. So the rework's coming. We're going to see the Labyrinth rework relatively quickly, which there we lost Tassie. You got an offer, I'll buy it. You want to buy an offer? Because I got an offer rate there. That's 1240 and 24. That is a pretty good offer. That's the one that is ideal to get, because those are 3 of the biggest essence that you need. So if you want to buy me an offer, sure, feel free. I'm not going to turn down a free offer. Also, he runs forward to the front line when placed in the back line. Yeah. That's why I said, when you look at overall, Raul, when you look at K-Sauce, there's no, I wouldn't put him in. I wouldn't put him in just for the fact there's so many other heroes that will outperform K-Sauce overall. Belinda is doing massive damage, but she stacks energy too slowly. Sword, that's one of the reasons why they added her plus 30 signature item, gives you 40 energy. She does attack kind of slow, but if you put Belinda behind Arthur and you stack Belinda with Rose and she has a plus 30 signature item, especially if you have furniture, it is very, very powerful. Rose works specifically in that kind of lineup altogether. Altogether, it will work very, very well with that lineup because of the abilities that they have. Thorn, again, with the power-up is so tough. Tal, get a Taylene if you want to build her later. Yeah, we've said it kind of time and time again. If in the new event, get a copy of Taylene. Taylene is the most powerful hero in the game. I mean, hands down, even all the dimensionals, all of the heroes, all of the classes, her utility is through the roof. The damage is really high. She's the only hero that when she dies, she can actually be resurrected again. So she is one of the strongest heroes. Can you show us Damon's team? In here for Damon, this is the Damon team comp I was using, which we can try it. I know they don't have any gear. This one's good because when Damon gets heroes low, Ezio will actually just run around and execute them. But Damon is just the absolute monster in here with the amount of damage that he can put out. Taylene already had full energy, so she was already ready to go when we came in. But the Damon team comp goes very, very well, and Damon himself just needs support. Similar to Isolde, similar to a lot of different heroes that we see, Damon just has to scale a little bit. If you let him scale a little bit, if he has the opportunity to scale with support, which again, they're not wearing any gear, very, very easy to kill entire teams with Damon, especially when you're running him with Taylene. Which here, oh, we left Taylene in there, but that's okay. 29 million, as you can see there. He does a ton of damage by himself. We'll use a tier just because we don't really use him for anything else. In this one, we are running Iran. We'll go with our regular team comp. But overall, I mean, super, super powerful. The Damon team comp is very strong depending what you're running it with. Damon just needs to have enough energy to get up Blood Shield, and then he can keep up Blood Shield and just go ahead and destroy teams with the Blood Shield. Because essentially with the shield, they can't break the shield. And if they do happen to break the shield, by the time that the shield goes down, he'll get a new shield up. So that's kind of the interesting part of Damon that, you know, just a lot of people say is super broke. When does Lucius get bad? Around there, Robert, 26 to 28 is a lot of times when a lot of players don't use Lucius as much. He never really gets bad. In a lot of team comps, he will still do pretty well. The big problem that we face with Lucius is when Lucius starts getting a big level deficiency. So when your heroes start getting a lot higher, or when the enemy team starts getting a lot stronger than yours, he doesn't have damage mitigation. So short of using his shield, the damage mitigation he does not really have, which results in Lucius dying usually right off the bat. Very, very early, Lucius will usually die because Screg has mitigation, Arthur has mitigation, a lot of heroes do, and he does not. That's kind of the big difference with Lucius is they if they build damage mitigation in there, he would be absolutely phenomenal, and he would be probably unstoppable because he has the shields, he has the heals. But again, face to face, when he's taking more damage, he will die super fast. What's considered mid game? It's kind of changed. So I would say probably mid games 12 to, I would say like chapter 12 to 26 maybe. Mid game being like 26 to 32 being like late game, and then 33 through 38 end game. It's changed because way back in the day, of course, there weren't as many chapters. So late game was, I believe, mid 20s was considered late game or considered end game because that was kind of the end. But now it's pushed and changed quite a bit as we've continued progression through here. So it ultimately, like I said, it's changed quite a bit from where it was on what is mid game and late game. But I think early games, probably chapter maybe 12, maybe chapter 12. Usually when between like chapter 12 and 15 is when you start establishing heroes, when you start building heroes, when you start building team comps. Usually about chapters 12 to 15. When you start getting up in the 20s, kind of mid game, in the 20s is when you have teams, when you're worried about formations, when you can actually use different formations for different lineups, things of that nature. Looks like Hashmira got on. That's kind of the point of the ever-ending or ever-changing. How many scrolls do I have? Oh. Let me see what Shaz said. Euron is so epic. Lucius is better in early game. Yeah, and that's it, Mystical. There's never a point, which, very nice. So that's 16 there, 30 there. So that's 46 out of there, which is the reason I went with these. Remember, this account This should be red chest. When you pick them out of here, you should go red chest. This account is unique because we have a very, very high amount of heroes in a very short amount of time because of the play to win aspect of it. So if you look, even heroes that I have at 10, all of these heroes are at plus 10 signature items. I know Gorvo we are working on. So we'll continue to work on Gorvo until we get him maxed out. But red chests we're getting from different sources. So once we get some of these amplifyings, next time that I actually pick up this card, I'm going to go red chest. Right now, we just need a ton of amplifying emblems. I'm playing this game for about 2 months now without spending any money. Currently 4 Ascended Heroes, Chapter 21. When is it going to become unplayable? Ricardo, this is actually one of the games that you don't have to ever put anything in it. Even Javid, a lot of different players are 100% completely free to play. Even on here, I have free to play accounts that are in level Chapter 26 going into Chapter 27. Free to play is an option, and free to play is just takes time. That's it. So it just takes longer for the free to play player to progress. You can get all of the same heroes. You can get all of the same things. You just do it kind of on a lesser scale because you don't get as many summons, don't get as many diamonds. It just takes time, essentially. Everything that you can get in here. And by design, even like the Warriors Glory event, you can get the best hero in the game, Taylene, as free to play, which is super free to play friendly. I played Idle Heroes for a while, played a couple other games. The highest tiered heroes and the highest tiered items in Idle Heroes you could never get. You could never get without spending a minimum of $20 in here. So essentially these heroes in other games are 100% unattainable as free to play. And here, AFK Arena, they are. It's very, very friendly play. Do you ever offer roster reviews and help provide some direction? Yes, Nick, on Discord. Big thing with Discord, I'm on there. If you send me a direct message, I believe I'm 0999, which is pretty cool. But if you send me a message in there, it's hard to do in live streams to talk about formations and stuff like that, other than the ones you can see here. And it's very, very difficult to kind of work through lineups and things of that nature without being able to see the heroes that you have. And that's kind of the big thing, is if I can't see all the heroes that you possess, again, it's kind of hard to tell you formations, Nick, because I can't see what you have to build for essentially for specific teams. So this one, I think we're going to run, I'm thinking, so for the campaign progression, let's see where we're at. So we are running the God tier comp, which still got quite a bit of a level difference there. But I'm thinking let's go with the Iran Sophia comp. So we'll swap out some of our gear here. We'll swap in Sophia as well. Take off Saurus and make sure that we get some of this gear. Because I know Rowan is good. There we got Sophia, which Sophia is almost maxed out, but we will throw on the new relic. Let's see, we do have enough. We do. Still maxing her out, so she is at 28, so almost completely done. Sophia is a hero I absolutely love. Very, very cool. Very cool hero, especially when her regular attacks become scatter bolts. Very, very powerful. The scatter bolts are very strong. All right, so let's go with the Iran Sophia comp. And we'll see how well we do. Like I said, I know there's quite a bit of a level deficiency here, but we'll see what we can overcome. Might take a couple times. But I think we can get there. Let's do a spare for the viewers. What do you mean, Majd? See, we can't have Tassie dying right away. And just got literally one-shotted there by Leica. That is the power of Leica. Leica does a lot of damage, but look at that, 17 million from Nomura. Let's see if we can get a banish up pretty quick. We got a slumber, that's good. Just gonna take a couple times. We should be able to get it down. I stupidly made Sophia legendary when I didn't have an E+ copy. It took me 2 months to get her. Yeah, Mystical. There's a couple heroes that are that it just took a absolute insane amount of time to build. As you guys know, before we had the desired heroes, there were a lot of heroes that took me an insane amount of time to build, essentially. For instance, when it came to Pharrell, because we didn't, again, this is before we had Desire Heroes, Pharrell sat almost 6 months. Yes, 6 entire months before I ever got Pharrell built. We had the same issue with Isolde. Isolde was released around, I believe it was around like Halloween. Isolde took me the same. It took me about 5 months to build Isolde before we could ever use it. How are you able to play AFK? If you look in the descriptions, I actually put a link down there for BlueStacks, specifically AFK Arena in BlueStacks. BlueStacks is just an emulator that will play AFK Arena through your PC, just like you see here. So it does use Google accounts, meaning that if you have Apple, you won't be able to run it. You can through Facebook, through BlueStacks, kind of a couple different ways. But look at that, Sophia, 77.68 million damage. That's why I love Sophia. When her scatter bolts, when her normal attacks turn into scatter bolts, the scatter bolts stun. So the primary target will be stunned by the scatter bolts. Then the other 2 heroes, so it hits 3 heroes or 3 enemies in total, amplifying her damage, especially when her damage is maxed out. It's very, very cool to see. Now this one, we do have to build our formations. So should we stick with Doc? Doc has not done us wrong. Here we got that team comp. We got that team comp. So we could go for it. First time I actually watched it live. What's going on, Alexander? When I started this game a week after its release, Brutus was that mauler. Yes, absolutely, Pixel. When AFK Arena came out, Brutus was the hero that every single person wanted, was always the go-to person, was Brutus. Everybody used Scrag. Scrag was the food for Brutus. There were a couple other, but if you built Brutus, you were pretty much the god tier comp. The Brutus comp just absolutely destroyed everything. Brutus could solo most battles. Brutus could just kill by himself, which is crazy. So here we have Rowan is geared. We need Damon, so we need gear for Damon. But since then, honestly, one of the biggest heroes that need a rework absolutely is Brutus. Brutus used to be the king. Brutus used to be by far probably one of the best heroes we had. And now most people never even know who Brutus is and don't know or don't build Brutus really at all, which is sad because, like I said, he used to be such a powerful healer back in the day. We're going to need gear for, we have Leica and we have Rose. So Leica is already good too. So let's throw some gear, which again, we are out of complete gear here, but she is going to need gear as well. So what do we have? We have nothing, as you can see there. So as far as gear, I believe we're pretty well out of everything at this point. Yeah, Brutus, Lucius, Leica, Tassie, Nomura, and Chimera. Yeah, Chimera used to be the other hero. Chimera would just kill everything. I mean, Chimera back in the day was just an absolute monster, and Chimera would kill everything. Chimera would kill everybody. It was kind of crazy. Brutus is kind of useful. Yeah, Bloody Star. The only thing that people use him for is the immunity shield now. But the only other problem with the immunity shield is now we have a lot of classes that can break through the immunity shield, which kind of downplayed a lot of Brutus being super, super useful, was the ability to essentially kill the immunity shield, to kill through the immunity shield. This will probably take a couple times, but we'll go. I have Brutus at Mythic, and I keep getting copies of him, so I'll be able to ascend him soon. I have the poop gun. Yeah, I don't know about it being so funny, but Shamira carried me all the way to chapter 29. Yeah, and that's it. Shamira is very strong. The best tank for chapter 26, or chapter 16, excuse me. Lucius. Lucius will carry you for a majority of the game. Very, very powerful hero. You'll be able to use Lucius through a lot. Lucius is also very, very powerful when it comes to the tower. After 2 heroes have been used successfully, fused. Oh, I think we have someone fused. Maybe it's with Arthur. Oh, it's got to be with Arthur. Who is Arthur fused with? Oh, we're going to lose it. I don't even remember. Arthur with Sophia, so we use Sophia. Let's drop Sophia out of here. Is he worth building? A lot of people use Brutus with the immunity shield. That's usually the only time that people use him. So I mean, just like most heroes in AFK Arena, they do have a time and a place. They will do well and will perform well depending on kind of the team comps you're using. But they do have a time and a place. But again, just like normally, there's a lot of heroes that can replace Brutus that will perform very, very well in place of Brutus. Brutus is good hero. If Javid says Brutus is good, 100% I am on board for Brutus. We've seen the same with Gorvo. We've seen the same with a lot of heroes that Javid recommends. Oh, which that one we almost won. So if Javid recommends them, definitely. Worst case, if you ascend Brutus, you... Yeah, and that, Florin, that's what I've done with a lot of different heroes, is just going ahead and fusing them. They're used essentially for fusion now that we have so many fusion heroes. Sure, I'm hoping Arthur can just hold out here while we got the rest of the line and to push back. Again, I think it's just going to be some RNG because they're burning down pretty quick there. Yeah, I think it's just going to take some time. We could get it. What's going on, guys? Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Hippo, love the channel. Can you say Irish wristwatch, please? Well, thank you, Andrew. Yes. The other thing they wanted to say is, what was it on Reddit? The Rigby. The Rigby is the best celestial hero. So that's from Reddit. So as the channel has kind of gotten bigger, a lot of people don't believe when I post on Reddit. I do read Reddit. I usually read Reddit every single day. So if you guys haven't seen, I am on Reddit. So if you see something with Furry Hippo and you see the little hippo, it's probably me. I do comment on quite a few posts. I do read Reddit, and a lot of people say it's not you. Save this line live when you're doing a live stream, or record this in. So they wanted me to say that Rigby was the best celestial hero. So there we go. So if you're on Reddit, Rigby is the best celestial hero. Best team comp for Isolde. Arwen, the team comps for Isolde is anything that is going to provide crowd control. That's really the biggest thing, is the crowd control. Isolde has to have time to scale. If Isolde doesn't get time to scale, it will not work. So if you can provide like Pharrell in there, very, very good. Nara in there, very good. Some solid tanks, because essentially all that you're doing is buying time for Isolde to scale. Put Leica behind Arthur. Yeah, I thought, but Rose is following Leica. That's why I swapped it. There we go, we got it. That's why I swapped it. So in this formation, essentially, in this team combination, Rose would follow Gwen. So in a perfect combination, Rose would follow Gwen, absolutely destroying it because Leica's just there for the haste and for the debuffs. But because Rose follows Leica, I have to play around a little bit with the formation. I think if I swapped better gear on Rose, we could probably get that done a lot easier. But that is 3148. Nice to see you all again. A question. I need a lot of Greyborn food. 1-2, it is not a mistake. If you've seen a little bit earlier, I'm taking food from this event. I am totally just taking food from this event because that is exactly what I need. I need so much food on this account. It's crazy. So that's what I'm going for. I'm building food on this event. I'm buying all food from all of the pendants. If you really, yeah, I know Rigby is not a celestial. I know. But like I said, in the event, usually when you look at even the guide we put out, so the top 1, 2, and 3 really focus on specifically the needs of your account are really the big thing that you can kind of look at is what do you really need to progress your account. So specifically on this account, 1, we need food. We have a lot of heroes. We have a lot of heroes that need food. 2, I need a lot of amplifying emblems. We are so far behind with the crazy high amount of Ascended and the crazy high amount of mythic heroes we have. This account needs amplifying emblems. This account needs food. As you can see, we have almost 10 copies of Kelthar with nothing to build any of it. So again, we need food, which is what we're going. Building a Wilder team, who do I focus on? Iran, Leica, Alexander are the two main priorities when it comes to the Wilder team. They make the formation shell. Leica and Iran, especially if you already have Saurus. Saurus does really well in the campaign since they've done the rework with his accuracy problems. So he's another hero, but everyone builds him in there. But Iran, yes, Iran is a must. Iran builds the Wilder team. Does Hendrik still go good? Yes, Hendrik is very good. So using Hendrik or Estrilda are good League of Troll because you will stack everybody into the back. That's really the big thing that you want to do with that team combination is stacking everyone in the back to make it really easy to win or to catch everyone on fire with Gwen. That's kind of the big thing. Have you tried Twins, Rain, Pharrell, Cetrana, and Gwen? I have not, Pixel. We don't have Cetrana. Cetrana I have on my main account, and that's the only place that we have Cetrana built. So I haven't seen that team comp yet, and I don't really PvP. A lot of people ask me, where are you at with the PvP? Where are we at with, the Challenger tournament? I very rarely PvP. Nice to hear that. I need it for Kelthar. Yeah. Kelthar, we're getting there. Leica first, Namora and Tassie, depending on the Tassie. Yes, Tassie is very good. Here, I think we might have to switch up our formation a little bit. Let's see what Doc did. We've been sticking with Doc. And there is Doc. He went with, look at that, Arthur, Brutus. Brutus we don't have, so that one's going to be a little bit tougher. We could substitute in there, though. And then here we got Pharrell with this combination. So let's copy this one, and then we'll copy. I wish I would name them, because I know a lot of formations in here. So here we have Rowan's geared, Leica's geared, Iran's geared. So we need to put gear on Pharrell. I've noticed a lot of these, he doesn't use Celestials or Hypogeans, which is pretty interesting to see that there's not a very big push with the Celestials and the Hypogeans in there. Is there any use for Oscar? Most people, Arvin, don't use Oscar. Late game, I have him built. There's one specific formation that he's kind of a substitute for, but again, most people do not use him at all. And I've used him a couple times in the Abyssal Expedition, and same with the Abyssal Expedition. Doesn't seem like he really gets much use from what I've seen. So even here, we just have to substitute Brutus. Everybody else is built. So we already have, I believe, a Strilda with some gear, but let's swap with Gwen. Seeing if we can make Gwen a little bit stronger. We'll try the formations. Again, big shout out to Doc for the formation stealing. We should be good there. And then formation 2, just put, oh no, yeah, because that's right. So the first formation right here, this will be the first one. Minus Brutus, since we don't have Brutus. And we will swap a Strilda in here. We'll have the pushback there, which will be good because Scrag we can't push back. And then the second formation is going to be this formation. All right. Yeah, Oscar, again, Oscar, I haven't really found a home for Oscar yet. See if she shoots that stunning arrow first, but Rose is actually following Gwen now, which is good. That is what we wanted. Might just take a couple tries. Yeah, Nara is really good. Between Nara and Isolde, Nara you'll find a lot more utility for probably earlier game. You're going to find a lot more uses for her. Where Isolde you have to have built. Isolde has to have his furniture. If you don't have Isolde's furniture, unfortunately he's pretty worthless without the furniture. But if you can build his furniture and have him built with furniture, very, very strong. In the Scylla's Bountiful Trial things I found, Oscar. Yeah, and so we've tried a lot of those formations. Mystical, we've went through and tried a lot of the formations that we get out of those events. Not really helpful at all. Most of the formations that we found do not work. Which again, here with Rose. Rose is following Damon. Let's try it in the middle, though. You want to see because of the knockback. That was a lot closer there. Nara is the hard. Yeah, Nara is, and so is Nakaruru. Nakaruru does very, very well in that same combination, which that was close. Brutus was the only one left there. For 4 purple stones from the Misty Valley, I've gotten Rowan, Damon, Rigby, and Sophia. Yeah, 1, 2. That is absolutely awesome. Purple stones here, we haven't been getting anything for it. Seems like it's just been a lot of food, which again, I don't mind the food. We will always use the food. And this is what a lot of the campaign is like. If you guys are not mid to late game, this is what we get a lot of the campaign stages. Just take RNG and just take time, essentially. Can you use Grez for one match? This one, I can't use Grez for the simple fact that if we look at Grez, he is right there at level 1 Elite Plus. If I had Grez built, absolutely. I could swap a Grez in here and show you exactly what it looks like. But with Grez being level 1, not having him built, you're not going to be able to see him. What is the best artifact for Aziz? Aziz, I usually use the call. Excuse me, not the call, the vitality, the Chalice of Vitality, to increase the survivability. Even here, I'm wondering if we replace Rose out of this formation. Just to maybe give Arthur a little bit of help. Let me try cheesing it for a minute. So let's swap Rose out. Let's swap We'll go with Orthos. See if the time slow makes a big difference here. There's the little time traps. As you can see, it slows them down. Maybe Mizoth. Try Eins. Yeah, we could try Eins, as long as we're not taking that much damage. Mizoth is very tough to kill. He is definitely a lot of survival. I just wonder how Beto with the immunity would help at all. That was pretty close. Corvo isn't worth 99, bro. You have a lot of priorities. How tanky is Corvo? Yeah, and the 3 of 9 is really, really easy to get for a lot of heroes. 3 of 9 is relatively easy. When you start getting, I gotta see who he's linked to Shamira, so we're good. Again, 3 of 9 is relatively easy. When you start getting to 9 of 9, it is a significant investment to get 9 of 9, which Kasos just said, yeah, no. I think that was the throwing axe. Hines with that relic. See, look at it. Look at his boom. There's the energy. That easy, already full by the time the chant's done. He is already done. Brutus is in fact underrated. I would say a little bit. Like I said, a lot of people will use Brutus for the immunity shield, but short of the immunity shield, that's really it. I mean, that is kind of where a lot of people draw the line. Is the immunity shield that he brings. Even here, the fully maxed out Orthos with the 9-piece bonus furniture plus 40 signature item just gets ran straight over from Savius. That easy. Yeah, I thought about using Ezio. Possibly in here for a little bit of dodge or some of the finishing. You can try Estrilda with Ezio. Like I said before, we could probably push this quite a bit. We could probably make this work. Might just take a long time. But even there, I mean, Estrilda's just getting run over. Remember, we don't have the tier 2 gear. For a majority of these heroes are wearing next to nothing because we do not have any gear essentially left for them. But I wonder, so on the second team, we're using... We don't have Sophia in there either. I'm just thinking about what could possibly increase a little bit of their survivability in here. Because even most of these heroes, I mean, it's pretty chopped up. I wonder if we even went with Aziz. We still need weapons. We got to buy some gear. We need to get on the buying the gear train because we're missing a lot of stuff in here. Which we got some stones. Pick up one of these. Pick up one of these. Got to pick up some more gear. We need tank gear. We need caster gear too, though. We'll save the rest for gear. For later chapters, wouldn't it be better to work on Albedo before Eins? Joel, Eins will do really, really well, even early on. So if you're running Eins, even early on, he will do really, really well without Albedo. He'll perform really well all by himself. Albedo needs a little bit of a rework, needs some help. Definitely needs quite a bit of help to be good. They're talking about reworking her, which I think is going to come in the future. But I should be able to get through chapter 31. Definitely this week we should be able to get through here because I'll get some more fodder. We'll get some more stars on some heroes. We'll gain some more levels, which quite a few there. I think we might be able to actually get a couple more levels here. just pushing because the gap in the campaign keeps getting wider and wider. We're making progression before we're actually getting gear for heroes because we're going through progression, which we got a lot of stones here. We didn't use them earlier. Baden, which we got a Gorval. We got a Gorval, we got a Scrag. And we do have quite a few there, another 11 rare. And the rest of the diamonds, like I said, at this point, we're going to have to save our diamonds. So we're actually going to bank all of our diamonds so we can make sure when we get the rework in 2 weeks for Silas that we're going to be able to actually buy him. So we're going to be able to buy him. A lot of these heroes we're starting to get quite a few stars on, which is good. So we're starting to finish out quite a few heroes, starting to get a lot more stars kind of stacked on heroes. So yeah, I know. I still haven't seen Silas. This one we still haven't unlocked Silas. But like I said, we're going to save all of our diamonds for the next 2 weeks. So essentially 2 weeks when this resets, we'll get 5 copies of Silas. At that point, I want enough Greyborn food to take him from unlocked all the way to essentially to Mythic Plus. If we don't get any more copies, we'll be able to take him to Mythic Plus right off the bat so we can use him and we can unlock his signature item and use his signature item. So that'd be very, very cool. How many monitors? I have 2. One on this side, one on here. That's my wife's. The monitors over here, the computers are my kids'. Yeah, so in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 3 laptops. So it's kind of crazy. But that will do it for the stream. So we did make a little bit of campaign progression, finished out the Arcane Labyrinth, got the artifact through the Peaks of Time, which is very, very cool. So we will continue the progression 2 more weeks and we'll get Silas. I know we still have a long time before we can redeem for Ainz and Albedo. So make sure you're saving your resources. Make sure you're banking pretty much everything you have in here is what I have been doing across all of my accounts is just literally banking everything, cycling through what I can use when it comes to keeping things out of the mailbox. Remember, the mailbox only stays for 7 days. So if you have something in there, it used to be 30 days. I believe once upon a time it was 30 days it would stay in there, but now you only have 7, meaning that last pretty much the week before you can redeem for Ainz and Albedo is going to be very, very important. Also, the week of when the redemption period is open is going to be very, very important as well. Does Lilith plan on making an agility artifact? Yes, the agility artifact is on the way. The support artifact is on the way. Just going to take time. So we have 3 of our 5 artifacts already out, which I cannot wait because every artifact that essentially we've seen. So with the Chaos Bringer, with the Wind Binder, have been the priority artifacts. The tank artifact nobody uses. Very, very exclusive. If nobody takes fatal damage, this doesn't do anything, which I wish they would give us a little bit more stats on here. So this is probably an artifact that Lilith will rework in the future just for the simple fact that nobody uses this one. If you looked at the guides, if you looked at the tier list, if you looked at the artifact power, nobody is using the barricade artifact because again, if nobody takes fatal damage, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything but a little tiny bit of stats there. This one with the energy is very, very powerful, starting with 300 energy points, especially if you're running a caster with Rowan. Very strong because the first one to 600 gets to alt, which again can be the caster, so very powerful there. And we're also building up all of our little stones here to go ahead and enhance this. As you can see, it's 400 to enhance. We already have 320 of our resources. So I've been actually collecting from here. We've been doing a total of 2 resets because right there's the class exclusive artifact. So I've been doing the free one and then 2 additional ones. So doing this 3 times a day, not only to get more experience, poke coins, but also to get gold and to get gear. That's the other really big thing out of there is gear. Sorry, CK Storm. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. when I could unlock the chosen desired heroes. Yes, as soon as the desired heroes is through the field of stars, it is through the big torch. This is the first one. Additional hero choice packs, monthly draws +1. I believe that is 10 ascended heroes. You do get the first star all the way through, or no, I think this is the first star. All the way to, we have 32 now of 50, so all the way through 50 ascended heroes. So if you have 50 of the 60 plus heroes that we have ascended, very, very cool. Trying to finish out a couple more of these. Reach player level 180, still got a while for that one. The other big one is the progression star here, 32-60 to unlock the star, which we're not even close, not even in 32 yet, but we're definitely making some progression. If they make that, you only lose 150 energy, way better, or 100. Yeah, the artifact is really strong. Not including that, the other big thing of that artifact is not only the damage increase for the artifact itself, is the crit amplification. This is really big because you want your casters to maximize their damage, and the crit amplification is very, very strong when it comes to the amount of damage they're going to put out. Almost 28.5 crit amplification, which is very, very powerful because that'll maximize the damage that Ainz can put out. 1 ascended, 5, 10, 20, 30, and 50. There you go, Javid. So that is it for your desired summon. So 1 ascended hero, 5, 10, 20, 30, and 50 to have it fully unlocked. So again, guys, thank you guys for joining me for the live stream. Over 13,000 subscribers already. Absolutely crazy with the amount of love and support that we're getting there. I've been going through trying to catch up on the faction videos. A lot more content coming. Love doing the live stream. We're on 31-52, and we got one more Stargazer. So we pulled 5 Stargazer pulls, got 1 Orthos. I'm hoping this doesn't continue and that Orthos is going to be a very, very long, tedious build. Maybe next time we can get a couple, but Wukong, we're getting out of Labyrinth. We're getting copies of Flora out of the Challenger store, which is our focus right now. So those heroes will be built in time. And then just continuing the push, really hoping that Lilith gets a button to remove all of our gear. That's one of the really big things that I absolutely hope that we get, is just to remove all gear here. So even now I have to go through all of my heroes, remove all of their gear, because I'm going to go ahead and run through the faction towers for a little bit. But again, you have to manually swap all of the gear that you put on your heroes. And it doesn't even put the geared heroes first. So it is a very, very tedious process to go through. And then to re-equip all of the heroes essentially, because I don't have much gear. It's one of the things that I'm definitely lacking because we pushed progression so fast, is having gear. He doesn't even have a weapon. That is mythic. So we'll collect up all this, but that will do it today, guy, for the live streams. Yes, Grez is way better than Baden. Baden's another hero that we have issues with survivability. So a majority of the time when you have heroes such as Baden, let me find him down here. When you have agility heroes that go to the front line, the agility heroes rely on dodge. Magic cannot be dodged. That's kind of the really, really big thing, is magic can't be dodged. So essentially, if Baden runs to the front line and there is a caster pretty much in the back row, if they attack Baden, a majority of the time, Baden just dies. That's really it. And we see it with a lot of agility heroes. We see it with Titus. Most of the agility heroes that go straight to the front line, because they cannot dodge the magic, they die really, really fast, which is an issue. If you can protect them with a solid frontline tank, increase their survivability, let them scale a little bit, actually build up a little bit of time, they're very, very hard to kill, but it's just getting the heroes right out of the gate to, again, to keep them alive and keep them from dying. So again, guys, that will do it for the live stream for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Absolutely love answering questions, going through the live stream. We're definitely making progression, loving it. Almost to chapter 32, almost caught up to the main account. I believe I'm on 3240 on the main account. So we are definitely making some progression in about a quarter of the time since I have been playing. So all right, guys, so that will do it for us today. again, thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you soon. If you have specific questions, hit me up on Discord. That is the place to answer specific questions about team comps. So have a good Sunday, guys. I'm going to go out in the snow and put up the rest of the Christmas decorations now, which should be a lot of fun. So again, guys, thank you for watching.